Hello, this is Harold Carey, and I'm doing my first on-air broadcast of my computer lessons. The first lesson we're going to be covering today is the different computer types. And I'm going to click here on my friend. Gary's here. This is Gary Levin. He's the eye surgeon in Riverside, California, and he's going to start off with us, and I invited anybody of my Hangout friends to enter with me. Okay, this is the first slide, computer types. This lesson will tell you about the different types of computers. What is a computer? A computer is a tool that helps you do things faster at home and business. Having the skills to use a computer can be a great advantage at home and in the business world. It can help you improve performance and productivity. Computers are now used at home as well as schools and the office. There are three types of computers: the mainframe, the mini-computer, and the microcomputer. The mainframe is a computer that is large and powerful. It can handle the processing of many users simultaneously. A mainframe can fill a large room. It can handle hundreds of different programs and users at the same time without decreasing performance. Mainframes are mostly used in large organizations such as government agencies, banks, airlines, and universities. Mainframes typically cost several hundreds of thousands up to $1 million. Supercomputers are used as calculation-intensive tasks such as resource exploration, movie animation, and global weather patterns. A supercomputer can be very expensive, typically costing several millions of dollars. The most famous series of supercomputers were designed by the company founded and named after Seymour Cray. The Cray 1 was built in 1976 and installed in the Los Alamos National Laboratory. A mini-computer is a multi-user computer that lies in the mid-range of computers. It is less powerful than a mainframe and can fill part of a room. Mini-computers commonly are networked and share computational tasks with many users. But as the numbers of users increase, the speed decreases. The phrase microcomputer has been largely replaced with personal computer, or PC, which has been designed to use by one person at a time. Personal computers are mostly used for business, schools, and homes. The size of personal computer has decreased and has become less expensive and has become significantly less expensive. Most IBM personal computers run Windows operating system, which is what most of the software of computers is designed for. The main advantage of buying a PC is having most compatible software. It's basically designed so most of the software works with the PCs more than any other computer. Macs are generally easier to use and have a lot less problems than the PC, and are used mostly in industries such as graphic design, publishing, and education. A desktop computer is commonly called a PC, the personal computer. It is intended for use at a single location instead of like a portable computer would be. The term desktop usually refers to a computer in a case with a display screen. Most desktop computers have separate screens and keyboards. Desktop computers come in a variety of styles and ranges, from larger converter ones to flat ones that sit on the desktop also. A laptop or notebook computer are portable microcomputers, small, lightweight, enough to be carried by the user. They run on a battery power, but they also could be plugged into a wall outlet. They typically have an LCD that displays and folds down to protect display when the computer is carried around. They also have a built-in keyboard and pointing device. The cost for netbooks and laptop computers are about the same as the cost of a desktop computer, but you can take the notebook or laptop with you. Laptops are now the main computer used by students and real estate agents and business professionals who travel. right now, there are more laptops sold than desktops. Some tablet PCs come with an integrated keyboard that rotates 180 degrees and can be folded down over the keyboard. The operating system on most PCs uses the Windows XP Tablet PC Edition. There are a lot of other operating systems also. There's a lot of handheld personal assistant devices which are not as popular right now. It's also been taken over by the smartphones. Smartphones have computer technology that allows you access to the internet. With mostly cell phones, with most cell phones, you can now use and listen to music, watch pictures and videos, send text messages, and email. Other consumer products contain computer chips, which include watches, clocks, and interactive and education toys, which often use pen-shaped stylus and point and pressure-sensitive devices. In addition, you also have computers inside of things like automobile engines and industrial equipment. Well, that's all of my 15 slides now. Now we're going to open it up to questions, and I will end the slide sharing part of this. Let's see. Let's go over to turn off the screen share. Well, Gary, how'd you like my presentation?
It was very interesting. It was a good general introduction to computers. I was going to ask you a technical question.
Sure.
On the presentation. Is there a way for you to get yourself in that picture-in-picture, like a little PIP in the corner of yourself talking?
Oh, I probably...
Can we do that?
Yeah. Yeah, the picture-in-picture feature can be used if you use a secondary software system. What I'm using this for is to show people how you can use on-air Hangouts with the presentation software. What I'm going to be using with this presentation, as you've seen, is I'm going to show you what it looks like from the presenters area right now.
Was that PowerPoint? Was that a PowerPoint?
No, it's not. This is what's really cool about this. All of this can be done with Google. Since this is a Google On-Air Hangout, what I wanted to do in this broadcast is to use all of Google's products. So I'm going to give you a full screen share of the screen that I'm using here. And so we'll pop over to that. You can and I'll describe what it looks like here. There it is.
So that presentation came from the cloud.
Yeah, if you can see, oh boy, it's doubling everything. That's the problem. I'll have to turn that back off. But what I'll do is I'll switch it to one at a time. So what's happening here is that what's a real cool thing about Google Presentations is it has a presentation screen, and I'll show you that right now. What I showed you before was the actual screen of the project, which is this one right here. So what you're looking at now is the screen, and I can go backwards and forwards with this. So as I'm clicking on the buttons here, here's the smartphone slide. Here's the personal computer handheld digital assistant slides. Mm-hmm. Okay, but now what I'm looking at is not this, but I'm looking at the presentation with my notes that I'm talking. So I'm going to switch. I'm going to close this screen share and show you the other one. Okay, now this here is what I'm looking at. Now you see the difference here?
Right.
So what's really cool about this is you'll notice that all my notes are here, and up here you can click on Previous. You'll see that, and up in the top little corner I can see the slide that's being shown at the time, and you notice here on the notes, what's a really nice feature is down here at the bottom, you'll notice there's a timer. You see that? Right now it says that we've been broadcasting for 26 minutes.
Yes.
Well, yeah, so what I can do is when I start the broadcast, this is actually when I open the presentation, it starts counting. But as you click the button here, you click the reset button, you'll notice now it says 0.
Right.
So when you start the broadcast, you can it can tell you how long you're going. So if you have a set amount of time, it's a really good feature with this here. And so it's a really good way for people with on-air Hangouts to do presentations. So what you'll notice is when you switch over to the presentation system, it takes up the full screen. And another problem with this, though, is it still does chop off a little bit of the top and a little bit of the bottom of your presentation screen. So let me switch back to that right now, and I'll show you some problems that you might have. So over here, we'll go to screen share, and we'll switch back to the presentation.
That's even better than the PowerPoint notes screen, because it's got the image over in the corner. It's got a timer.
Yeah. Yeah. What you'll notice here is what I have done is I have put the text and the picture a little bit up from the bottom of the slide and the text a little bit down from the top of the slide, because in the presentations on the Google on the on-air Hangouts, it is basically a widescreen hangout. I was talking to the people at Google, and they used the 16:9 presentation instead of the 3:4. So instead of the square box that you're seeing here, the actual Hangout screen is wide. And so if you're going to do a presentation, you don't want to put anything from an inch on the top of the slide to an inch on the bottom of the slide. You want to kind of have the stuff in the middle and go wide, because that's what's going to be shown. It will chop off anything that you see there. So that's one of the things that that I learned as I was creating these things. So I had to redo all my slides because I did have stuff right around the edges. Yeah.
So Google has a presentation software. You can build your slides right in there.
Yes. What's really nice is with the Google presentation software, you can take your PowerPoint presentation, which I have, what I have here, I'm going to be putting together. I have over 500 slides on computer applications. The first lesson that we covered today is on the types of computers. What I usually have done in the past is I've done this with the Navajo Indians, and I usually have about 10 people that I'm actually talking to and talking back and forth. What I want to do now is just to read off the slides and take them through there, but what we usually have a back and forth with the Hangouts, we can have a back and forth participation. As you go through each slide, you can talk to the people and they can ask you questions about this.
That's
but this
great
was
now.
this was pretty straightforward, but the rest of them get kind of technical, and so it's really nice to have a group of people here that can ask you questions. If they get confused, you can talk back and forth.
Now, can you take you've got your 500 slides in PowerPoint, so you can just upload those to Google presentations?
Yes, you can. Right, you upload them. For some reason, a few of the pictures didn't come through. I uploaded a section of slides the other day, and all of them came through. And then I opened another group. For some reason, this one presentation that I uploaded, none of the pictures came through. So I'm not sure exactly what caused that. But the nice thing about Google Presentations is it does some of the new features. It actually has a bunch of stock photos that you can get that they're online as you're creating your slides.
That's fantastic. Boy, I can think of 101 ways for me to use this teaching at Loma Linda ophthalmology residents and